Over to you, Mr. Anup Pillai. Just a minute. So this screen is visible to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. This is Anu. So let us go. This is knowledge sharing series. Sorry, this session number is 26. I missed it one. So it is knowledge session number 26. It is on various aspects of hose fittings. So like Mr. Nitesh told, we already conducted numerous programs on this knowledge sharing series. Request everyone to mute your mobile phones so that we can have a smooth and interactive session. First of all, we would like to declare that we don't promote any endorse any particular brand. There can be some slides from some, but it is the logos displayed to the respective brand owners. So as far as our training programs are concerned, we conducted about 52 trainings in India and Middle East, about 2,100 plus participants, close to 13,000 man hours, 37 plus locations, 41 plus beneficiary organization like JCB, Hyundai, Volvo, Sany, and some steel plants and cement plants, some hose manufacturers and assemblers, and from Middle East, about 5 odd trainings. So just I'm quickly going to it. We have about 6 different training programs. If you come across any training demands, you can contact us. One is basically regarding the hose fitting basics. Second is hose assembly design and application, especially for the OEMs related. Third is hose assembly installation practices with a vast coverage over root cause analysis. Fourth is hose integrity and inspection management, where it's a detailed subject on consequence of failures, inspection and maintenance of hose assemblies and safety related. The fifth is OTT, which is a 3-step identification of hose end connections. And sixth is 9C hose assembly fabrication process, where you can get a very good reliable hose assembly. So let us go to the today's program, that is major fittings used in hydraulic hose assemblies, wherein we have 6 major, that is flange connections, threaded connections, dry disconnect couplings or quick couplings, pipe end connections, cam and groove couplings, and other different kinds. So first is the flange end connections. Flange end connections, the SAE standard for international standard is SAEJ 518 or ISO 6162, wherein you have a flange structure. This is a structure. It is been measured on the outer diameter and thickness. Majorly, it comes in 2 types. That is, one is 3000 psi and other is 6000 psi. Normally called as 61 series and 62 series. So the international standard for the geometrical dimensions, I mean to say the drop height and the extension length, the standard is ISO 12151-3. See, when you are into the hose business, you should know about the dimensional standard as well as the geometrical standards. Every hose and connections, there is a geometrical dimensions also. Like in this case, it is ISO 12151-3. So 12151-3, you will get these dimensions like what I had marked on that, that is L4, that is a drop height. It comes in 2 nomenclatures. One is a long one and one is a short one. So similar to this, there one proprietary standard comes, that is CAT flanges. The outer dimensions is equivalent to 62 series. Exception is the thickness for CAT flange will be 14.2 irrespective of all dimensions. Like in 6000 psi, you will have different thicknesses like 9.5, 6, 12.7 and all. But here in CAT flanges, the thickness will be 14.2. And the other thing is, in place of O-rings, Caterpillar flanges do have a D-shaped ring. So that is a separate thing. So this is something SA flanges. You can have a close look. CAT, it's a proprietary item. The thickness is 14.2. It have a D ring, and it is been fitted with a split flange or a mono flange. So this is a major flange ODs. Like if you take 1 inch 6000 psi, the outer diameter will be 47.63. Roni, can you please mute yourself? Yeah. So 6000 psi, 1 inch. See, if you take the outer diameter will be 47.63 and the thickness will be 9.53. Like if you take it in 1.5 inch 6000, the OD will be 63.5 and the thickness will be 12.57, and the bolt size in UNC it is 5/8 by 2 or 1/4 inch. And if it is metric bolt, it will be M16 by 50. And there is a torque value also given. If somebody need a quick screenshot, you can take a photograph. So this is the O-ring dimensions for this, irrespective of the dimension and the type. All the O-ring will have a cross section of 3.53. The outer diameter, inner diameter changes, but the cross section will be 3.53. It is in the case of even CAT flanges, even 3000 and 6000. So what are the other flanges required, in this industry? Flanges, what are flanges? It's a disc-shaped component. It is being measured inside diameter, outside diameter, PCD, what we called as pitch circle diameter, PCD. In this case, it is C, and a hole size, which has been mentioned as D in this, and a thickness mentioned as E, A, B, C, D, E. We can, A is ID, B is OD, C is PCD, D is hole, and E is thickness, A, B, C, D, E. Then the other types is TC flanges, commonly called as TC flanges, trademarked by alpha level. It is the description is tri-clover flanges, which has been fitted, which has been sealed with a gasket. This is the dimensional articulation. So these are the dimensions, what you can simply call it as tri-clover flanges. There are three kinds of clamps which used to fit this. One is a 2-segment single hinge, one is the other is a 2-segment double hinge, and the third one is a high pressure series with no hinge and only 2 bolts. So this is a pressure rating for it. These are the other flanges, 2-hole flanges, 3-hole flanges. The people, my colleagues who are into automobile industry must be more aware of these 2-hole flanges. It is majorly used in fuel lines. So hose end termination, it is been divided into two. One is a hose end and other is a termination end. Termination end, there is certainly an international standard, but hose end, which the part goes into the hose, there is no international standard. It is being manufactured and it will differ from manufacturer to manufacturer. A long process of validation happens in this, defining and designing and defining these hose ends. So many parameters are being considered on that. So fitting standard, if you ask the termination end, there are many international standards like SAE, DIN, JIS, BS, ISO, OEM standard like Caterpillar, Komatsu, industry standard like oil and gas, API 7K, underground mining standard, BCS 174, like MDG 14, many standards, proprietary standard like STECO, STC, etc. These are the major international standards which is currently in use in Asian continent. SAEJ 512, which is a 45-degree flare fitting. SAEJ 514, which is a 37-degree flare, which is commonly called as JIC fitting. And the third one, SAEJ 518, which we had just seen, which is commonly called as a split flange, SAE split flange. Then SAEJ 1453, which is commonly called as ORFS. Then a BS 5200, which is a British thread 60-degree con fitting. The other one is JIS, Japanese standard, the same BSP thread fitting but with a reverse cone, JISB 8363. Then another Japanese standard, that is JSB 0207, which is also commonly called as Komatsu. Then the most famous one, DIN 3865, also ISO 8434, which is a German standard for 24-degree fittings. Then GBT 9065.3, which is flat series, Chinese metric flat. Then NFE 48-64, which is a French series, which is in French millimetric and gas threads. DIN 2353, which is a standpipe series. SAEJ 1467, which is chapel lock. And of course, the most popular Benjo series, which is DIN 7642. We'll go one by one. Also, what we discussed was these all fittings was the dimensional standard, and this is the geometrical shape, ISO 12151-1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So this is something it looks like as a ISO 12151 series. So this is the detailed thing, ISO 12151. If you look at the You see, if you look at ISO 12151-1, see, look at that standard L1, L7, L7 on the left hand side first photo, L7, which is the total length including crimp sockets, because this is the most troubled area. Because if you got a longer crimping socket, these dimensions will differ, and the hose minimum bend radius, this will certainly affect the hose minimum bend radius. The dimension L7 and L9 on the 90-degree fitting. So this is very important. So another standard regarding fitting is SIJ 1754-1, where it clearly mentions double bend tube. That means on a hose assembly, both side bend is not recommended. This is a what we call the detailed dimensional, like DIN 3865 ISO 843411 is the detailed dimensions, where you will get the detailed dimensions from where the degree should start, what the nut length should be, what the nut bore should be. So these are the dimensions for that. Now, how to measure the threads? So how to identify thread? You need to, you need to have a pitch angle gauge to measure the angle, and then pitch gauge. What is shown on this? So you need a vernier caliper and a pitch gauge. Normally, the end connection material are being made from free machining steel. For example, EN1A leaded, EN1A, SI1018, 1010. So these are the major material being used in this. Hose connectors, which is being now, you can make it in 3 types. One is a crimp type, and another is the reusable type. Third is a push lock type. Crimp type, where it's a most common one in the industry. Reusable type, which is being used in air conditioning, which is being used in normally fuel dispensing, where you can see it in the petrol dispensing units, diesel dispensing unit, you can see every day. Push lock is normally used for a low pressure hose, where only you need to push the hose, it won't come up. So majorly used in robotic industry. So even this crimped one, it consists of 3 major parts. One a socket, one another stem or inner or nipple, what you can call, and the third one is a nut. So crimp ferrule, again, you can find it in 3 types: skive, not skive, interlock type. Crimp insert, again, the insert profiles are divided in 2 sections. The portion which goes into the hose, which is tail, what we discussed, which need the validation, and the terminal end, where there is a standard for that. So this is something like the skive type looks like, the how the non-skive looks like. The difference is the teeth. So one by one, the BSP, the standard is BS5200, BS5200, the threads are BSP, the seating angle is 30, inclusive angle is 60, the nipple degree meets to the adapter degree, which is also a 60 degree. So meeting this, it's a metal to metal seating, angular, and in some cases, the degree also incorporates a polymer seal. Polymer seal you can see in backhoe, almost all the backhoe. See, you can refer here on the left hand side bottom, you can see the dimensions, like how the o-ring groove looks like. This is the international standard for geometrical shapes, that is ISO 12151-6, wherein you can get the drop heights, you can get the extension height, lengths, including the crimp sockets. The dimensions will be there. So this is somewhat the drop heights mentions like. So these are the thread dimensions. You can take the picture if you need for the torque values, because torque value is one of the most important factors while installing the hose assembly. So this is the OD of the thread, ID of the thread, and the TPI, and the seat angles and the torque values. So this is for the I'm just doing it continuously. Last it was still 3/8 inch. Now this is 1/2 inch to 1 inch. This is from 1/4 to 2 inch. So this is a torque value. So yeah, for the O-ring type, these are the O-ring dimensions. The O-ring will have a hardness of about 80 to the plus, shore hardness of 80 plus minus 5. It is being molded from NBR rubber. Normally, unless and until specified, it is NBR. The next is JIS standard, Japanese Industrial Standard. This will have, again, this will also have a BSP thread, but the seating is reverse. And if you notice, there will be a backup hex attached to the nipple, because while tightening the nut, you need a backup hex. Otherwise, the hose will twist. The hose assembly will twist during the last 5, 7, 8, 4 or 5, 8 degree. So backup hex is mandatory for this reverse cone fittings. So this is a standard JSB 8363. So the backup hex is clearly shown here. The next is Komatsu JSB 0207. This is also having a reverse cone of 30 degree, but the threads are metric fine threads. You'll find all 1.5 pitches. No 2 pitches will be there. All 1.5 pitch threads will be there. So this is a standard. The next one is SIJ 512. SIJ 512 is a reverse cone again. The conical angle is 45 degree, and it will have a UNF thread. This will also have a backup hex, and this is commonly used in refrigeration, automotive, and truck piping. This is not used in hydraulic application because the tolerance level of angle is more, like the tolerance level is almost 1 degree. So normally this is never been used in hydraulics. It is used only in air conditioning and truck piping. Next is JIC, SIJ 514, what we commonly call as JIC fitting. This have a 37 degree seat, UNF thread with a backup hex. This is used in hydraulics. So this is a standard. So you can see the tolerance level. It is 1/2 degree, 37 degree, half minute, half degree. That is 30 minutes is the tolerance. So this is majorly used in hydraulics. The international standards for geometrical shapes is ISO 12151-5. You can always note this standard, because normally it do have 3 kinds of drop heights. One is a short drop, one is a medium drop. Can you mute, Shardesh?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. So it do have 3 kinds of drop heights. One is a short drop, medium drop, and long drop. So the international standard is ISO 12151-5. You can again note the standard. You'll get enough information on the standard. The next is ORFS with a flat seat. SIJ 1453. This is a standard. So you have a UNF thread across. You have a flat seat. Again, you have a backup hex attached to it, because again this is also a regressive connection, compaction connection. The O-ring it do have a specialized characteristic. This is a standard. So when we talk about the O-ring groove, if you can see the O-ring groove, it will have a retention angle. So style B, on the right hand side you can it has been marked. So it is the retention is not the retention groove helps the o-ring not to fall. It will be attached to the body. So this is a standard. For the geometrical shapes, ISO 12151-1 is the standard. You will get enough of the information on there. Again, it do have short drop, medium drop, and long drop. So this is a standard. The O-rings, the important thing is that it like in flanges, this will also have a cross section of 1.78 millimeter, irrespective of the sizes. Irrespective of the sizes, it will have 1.78 cross section. Only the ID OD changes, and this will have a 90 hardness O-rings, 90 plus minus 5. The next is your NPT threads as per SIJ 514 NPT, then like SIJ 4476 NPT, then BSPT. Then comes the metric series. Metric series, it is little elaborative. One is the DKS type. DKS will have again, all metric will have a 24-degree thing. If you are getting some European drawings, you will find this CES like that. DKS is a heavy duty and CES is a heavy duty made. DKOS is O-ring groove. It is with O-ring groove, again heavy duty. DKL is it's a compression connector with light duty. CEL is a light duty made. DKOL is again incorporating an O-ring groove, and CL is a mating made. So you need to find out the difference. DKS is without O-ring. DKOS is with O-ring. DKL is without O-ring light duty. DKOL is with O-ring duty light duty. Then comes some French connection: DKF, DKM, RSS, RSL, CES, and CL. All again metric connections. We'll go one by one. This is DKO series metric connections. The standard is DIN 3865. It is been measured on the tube body. Tube body, it is two different kinds, that is DKL and DKS. This is the international standard for the detailed dimension, that is ISO 8434-1. For geometrical shapes, you can always connect to ISO 12151-2 for the drop heights and extension heights. So this is the standard looks like. The drop height for metric, light duty and heavy duty, both are different. This is the detailed dimensions. This is a torque value. If somebody need a photo, you can quickly take it. It includes the ID of the thread, OD of the thread, and the torque value. This is from 20 to 27. This is from 30 to 39. This is from 42 to 65. So in O-ring, again, this is also 80 hardness in durometer, 80 plus minus 5. This is the O-ring standard. For the regular light series, DKL series, and this is for DKS series. Then comes the next one of the most recent standard, recently used in India because of the incoming of Chinese machines, because there are a lot of Chinese machines coming in. This is something similar to ORFS, SIJ 1453, but the exceptions are this comes with a metric thread. In place of UNF thread, this comes with a metric thread. This is also having a backup hex. This is a standard GBT 9065.3. Then comes a metric gas series. If somebody do have a European machine, almost all the lubrication fittings used to be of this type. The standard is NFE 48-064. Here, the tube OD will be in fractional number metric OD. Like it won't be 12 or 16. It will be 12.7, 15.9, 19.01 like that. So it is not a metric tube, it is a fractional series tube, inch tube you can say. The next is millimetric. Here the OD will be whole metric, but it have a different size, like in DKO L series, it was 15, 18, 22 like that. But here it is all non-standard sizes also. So the next is dry disconnect coupling. Dry disconnect coupling is recent, not recent. It's there since last 5 years. Recent, I mean to say, it is popular since last 5 years, wherein you can connect and disconnect without any fluid loss. So this is dry disconnect coupling, which is being used for transfer hoses, mostly used in petroleum industry. So this is a concept of it, easy to operate, and the spillage will be almost zero. Dry disconnect. Then what we discussed, various pipe and like standpipe as per DIN 2353. It will you can bind the cutting ring to this. This is a standard. Then bencho fitting, that is DIN 7642 and SIJ 1291. These are the standards. Then comes the chapel lock fitting. Chapel lock in the international standard is DIN 20043 or SIJ 1467. Those my friends who are working in mining industry must be most familiar with this fitting. This is a non-threaded connection. This is a standard. Then some quick release coupling. QRC comes with a lot of permutation combination. It comes with no valve. It comes with single check valve. It comes with double check valve. It comes with flat series, zero spill, less spill. Many international standard like ISO 7241 A series, B series, then 16028, 1454054, 15675. It comes with different material. The inner comes with different material, outer comes with different material. So it's a vast area in this quick couplings. Then the next is cam and groove coupling. It is similar to dry disconnect, but with a different. It doesn't have any valve. Cam and groove will not have any valve. Normally, internationally, it has been identified in type A or figures. Type A, this is type A, that is a female plug. The male part will be female threaded. Then type B, the female part will have a male thread. Type C, the female part will have a hose shank. Type D is the female part will have a female thread. Type E, the male part will have a hose shank. Type F, the male part will have a male thread. Type 4, the male part will have a flange end. Type 8, the female part will have a flange end. Then DC, this is what the DC stands for dust cap. Dust cap, a female dust cap and a male dust plug. Then comes the other type like claw couplings. Claw couplings are mainly used in compressor industry, air compressor industry. Those who are working closely with compressor industry, air circulation, they will be familiar with this. Normally, the famous one is American coupling and JICA. Then those who are familiar with oil and offshore, they must be aware of this hammer unions. It will have NPT related fittings, and it comes with it has been classified in figures, figure 100, 200, 150102, like that, depending on the pressure rating. These are the mostly and widely used in the across the world for in petroleum industry. Then comes SMS union, specially used in pharmaceutical and food industry, where the threads are Acme, and it has been based in Sweden. Then similar to SMS union, DIN 11851, the difference is SMS will have a flat seat, whereas DIN will have a cone seat. This is both are sealed by a soft seal. So this was the international standard which we discussed. This is in a single sheet. Those who are interested, they can take a photo. ISO 1215112-6. The alternate standard of ISO 8434-3126, that one, and the details are also mentioned there. And this is the connections used in hydraulic hose in a single page. Normally from 1/8 inch to 2 inch, what are the connections? What are the hose sizes? What are the threads like BSP, NPT, JSC, 45 degree, and the flanges? What are the sizes used? This is mentioned there. So all these connections are available in different material, because you need to know the material also, because sometimes it is not all carbon steel or stainless steel. Sometimes it can be brass, sometimes it can be copper, sometimes it can be hastelloy, sometimes it can be titanium, and there are a lot of geometrical shape, angular bends, various drop heights, different fixed type, like fixed male, fixed female, swivel female, etc. So this is what the one look selection chart for the fitting. If you have a fitting in hand and if you don't know the size, you can identify easily from this. Like if you have a nut with a 15.1 millimeter ID and a 19 pitch, you can simply identify it is a 3/8 inch BSP. So we had mentioned the torque size also against this. This is the second page of it. This is the third page of it. So now, if anybody have any questions, please come back. You can unmute yourself and you can ask the questions.
Anup,
Yeah.
I just before they start asking the questions, I would just like to, sum up the fitting, which I think some of the participants would require, right? So, like, who are not very old in fittings and all, like who are pretty new in fittings, or rather they are more with hose and very little with fitting. See, this is to all the participants. I wanted to add my footnote and all type that India being a country where technology has flown over the year from different geographies of the world, starting from Japan to China to Korea to Russia to Europe. You have got France, you have got Germany, you have got UK, then to US and things like that. Now, all these, as far as fittings are concerned, they had their own configuration. They had their own threads, they had their own seating, and they had their own, male, female, staple lock, and, various varieties and all those things. So now, it has been very difficult to have, like, for example, I give an example to everyone, like BSP fitting. BSP fitting has got BSP threads in the female, they have got BSP threads, and they have got a seat angle of inverted flare of 60° included, right? But BSP itself has got three, they are in three different categories. There are three different specifications. One is BS 5200, another is BCS 174, and the third is the ISO. So, to make sure that whatever fitting you are using, it should match with the other side adapter. Okay, otherwise there will be leakage. So now,
Termination you meant to say.
yeah. So if you, for example, the BSP, I was giving a example. If you take BS5 array, if you take ISO 12151-6, which is a BSP fitting, and you want to attach it with 5200, it may not match, and there will be leakage. So now that is the reason why International Standard Organization, that is ISO, has come up with a sort of an umbrella fitting specification, okay, which is basically ISO 12151 1 is for ORFS, 2 is for metric, and all those. So yeah, you can just show it. So now the trend is, now everyone is basically following. Yeah. Just last slide. Previous. Yeah. So no. Yeah. So this is, if you see Parker, if you see Gates, if you see, in fact, all the global leaders of hose and fittings, they are following this ISO 12151. So barely telling your, say, suppose you are buying some fitting, or you are selling some fitting, or you are buying the hose and buying the fitting and making an assembly, whatever it is, one should be more specific about which standard it is following. Like, you cannot in ORFS, you look at the first standard, that is ORFS 12151-1. So it is ORFS, it is in ISO, it is something, in SAE, it is something. And so to make a clear match, to make a right match, now the global leaders are going towards this ISO specification. So I don't know whether I've been able to make it clear to you. So it is always advisable nowadays to follow this ISO 12151 specification. And these specification, the slide which it's in front of you, these have got the major dimensions or the geometrical dimensions, and then you.
I'll just tell them where they are going. Can you see the cursor? Can you see the my mouse working?
Right. Right.
See the nipple end to the nut end. This distance, the nipple end to the nut end. These do have differences, like in BCS 174 and in BS 52000. These dimensions are different. So
yeah. So if you have got different connections, if you have got a hose fitting to BS 5200 and you want to tighten an adapter of, say, BCS 174, then they will not get tightened together. There will be leakages. So it is very important that just measuring BSP fitting is not enough. You got to make sure you are, see, if you go to different application or different industry, for example, here in Calcutta, I can say TIL Limited, they go in for BS 5200. So there the adapter as well as the hose fitting got to be in accordance to BS 5200. Whereas if you go to other this thing, companies, they might be using ISO 12151-6. So just by mentioning that I want a GIC fitting is not enough. You got to say which standard, whether it's ISO standard or SAE standard, or what I mean. So those who are not deep into fittings, it is very important for them that when you are procuring or when you are fitting, say some type of thing, you just got to mention the standard number also. And right now, I can say the most prevalent, the most used standard is this ISO 12151. And it has got type 1 is your ORFS, type 2 is metric, type 3 is flanges, type 4 is type 5 is your GIC, type 6 your, So this is one standard which all the global leaders are also sticking to, and our advice to you will be to stick to these standards only. Thank you. Any questions to Anup or me, if you want?
Anupji, this side Manish.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Anupji, I just wanted to know, like, what kind of standards are used in aerospace industry for fittings?
Aerospace normally uses JIC thread. See, now Boeing, earlier it was Concorde, they used to use JIC. Then Boeing have their own, see, there is a standard, I forgot the standard name. It starts with some AS 91. I literally, but if required, I can mail you that standard because.
See, Manish, I'll tell you, aerospace standards and aerospace testing and all those things are totally different.
Yes.
Like even their impulse test and everything is totally, they have got different standards.
First of all, there are
India,
limited hydraulic hoses.
There are very limited companies who have got, I mean, there are very limited suppliers to aerospace, very, very limited. And hence, to be very honest with you, we have not gone into very much depth of aerospace fittings.
Yeah,
or because
exactly.
they are a totally different ball game altogether. So in India, nobody basically looks after aerospace fittings and all those things, because say we have been working with companies like Parker, Gates, Eaton and all, but aerospace was one application where, in spite of the fact that we had our Indian infrastructure in all the three companies, all the three world leaders, but aerospace was always dealt from US, right? So to be very honest,
now Eaton had started it in Bangalore, and Poly was also started some supplying to some companies, because it needs a different approval like NADCAP.
yeah, they have got different impulse test standard also. Some
NADCAP approval is required, and the finishing level of fittings are very different. Like the internal bore size, the RA value is different.
Because
it's totally
I was
different.
literally
It's a
seeing,
totally different ball game.
I'll certainly. I think I do have that standard. If I find it in my library, I'll certainly share with you.
that will be great help, because lately I've seen some one of my customers shared some drawings with me, and they were, I think, for some Russian aircrafts,
Right.
And they were using kind of like, normally what you said, AIC, yes, it is predominant, but they were using some metric threads.
Yes, because see, earlier when it was Concorde, it was JIC. When then Boeing came to picture, Boeing and even Parker Megit changed the fitting level to some different standard, some metric and some into JIC. They kept it in JIC, and every industry have their own standard. Even though it is aerospace standards, but the dimensions, like they changes. Again, the material, it is not carbon steel or stainless steel, it is sometimes titanium and all. The alloy comes into picture there. Aircraft grade aluminum is there, which is as strong as carbon steel, but the weight is equivalent to aluminum. So
there's different. Most of the metal they use is molybdenum based and all those things. To be very honest, we have never gone into the depth.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I think somehow I'll be having that standard. I'll share with you.
Thank you. That will be great help.
Yeah.
Just study something and get something out of it.
Pleasure, Manish. Pleasure.
Anyone else? Any other question, please?
Anyone is having any question?
In fact, if you're not in a position to ask any question right now, Nitesh can give you the
Yes.
mail ID, and you can send your questions if any, or if you want some photographs of some slides and all those things, you can always ask from Nitesh. Nitesh will help you out. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is very informative meeting with you. Just knowledge sharing. Our team and me very happy for this kind of knowledge sharing meeting.
Yes.
So, and my team and me will preparing the some question with you. After that, I will mail you if they have any question. I have some question regarding the swivel straight and GIC female socket or GIC female 45-degree. I have some question also. My team also is preparing. I will share with you soon.
Yeah.
Tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Yeah. Anytime. Yeah.
No problem. So I have given this email address in this chat box. If anyone is
Yeah.
having question, they can send to this.
Yes, got it.
Apart from this, we'll be sharing the recording of this session on YouTube also. So I will share.
Okay. So can you share the YouTube link also?
I will once,
Yeah, I will
once
give you the
we
YouTube.
upload this video on YouTube, I will share you the link also. So you can refer it in your future, not a problem. And in case you have any question, you can get in touch with us. And,
Sure, sir.
every month, again, as I told you that we are keeping this knowledge sharing series on the different subjects.
See, Ronnie, one thing you'll appreciate,
Sure.
there's a lot of
Sure.
difference between online and offline. Rather, the physical training and
Yes.
online training, there's a hell of a difference.
Lots of different.
Yeah. So, because this online is somehow, during COVID, we were used to it and all those things. But offline, there is no
Online, sir.
shortcut.
My observation. Online is not concentrated clearly.
Yeah. It's not the
Sometimes
interactive
someone
one.
is coming, is going to somewhere.
Yeah, it's monologue from
Nobody-
one side and you listen and
Yes.
maybe later on. Whereas offline, if not now, later on, whenever we find time, whenever we this thing, we would love to have offline training with anyone for
Yes.
that matter, and so there's a lot of difference.
So offline training also available, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
We have already
We have
conducted
gone all over India. We have gone to
India as well
UAE.
as in the Middle East. So
Okay.
in last more than 1 year, we have conducted more than 50 training programs across India and the Middle East. So
Oh.
for OEMs also, we have got different modules for hose manufacturers, for hose assemblers, for institutional customers. So we have got different modules for the different application. So
Yes.
training may vary from 3 hours to 6 hours to up to 5 days also. So it depends on the customer's requirement.
Offline training based on is the only theory or practical also.
Practical will also be there if you have
Some models will be there and all, but generally it's theoretical. And
but in case you are looking for some training for your operators or technicians, then that is also available.
No, I'm talking about if I sending my operation or
Yes.
technician to offline training, so they should
We
share the.
are already starting this technician training program from 5th of September. So
Okay.
that program is for technicians and operators. So this will contain your this classroom training as well as practical training on machine.
Yes.
We are already starting this program from 5th of September. So it will be 3 weeks program. So 1 week will be dedicated to different type of hoses. 1 week
Okay.
will be dedicated to fittings, and 1 week will be for the practical training on machines.
Okay.
I will share you the link of that training program also.
That's better. That's better. Then I will talk to our company also.
Yes, yes. You should
This
send that link.
this presentation will be available, whatever shared today.
Be available on the YouTube.
Okay.
We will be sharing the recording of this session on YouTube. So once it is uploaded, I will share you the link.
And in one of the slides, so I was explaining something about the backup hex. So can you please elucidate on that point?
Just a minute.
Backup hex is always referred to. See, there are two kinds of connections. One is a progressive connection, where the nut will have a male nipple, right? So that is a progressive connection where the adapter will have an internal degree. So that is called as progressive connection. Whereas on the reverse, like UNF threads, the adapter will have a male degree, the nipple will have an internal degree. So that is a regressive connection. All regressive connections will have a tendency to have a twist while on the last stage of torque. When we give a torque, say 80 Newton meter, after about 60 or 70, it starts twisting. So twisting, to avoid the twist, you need to have a hex first on the stem, then the nut hex, so that the entire hose will not twist. You are on. Okay.
Okay, then for so that there will be no leakage during the testing. That's what that is.
The installation practices say there should not be any twist. The international data, what says that if there is a 7-degree twist in the assembly, 90% of the life of the hose will go off. So,
Thank you.
so you need, if you need a zero twist, then you need a backup hex.
So basically what Anup wants to say, Baitali, is with the connections which have got in female connections, which have got a flare, you have got flare and you've got inverted flare. A BSP has got an inverted flare, JIC has got a flare. In all flared connection, which he is calling regressive, you got to have a backup hex to tighten your hose assembly with the adapter. Otherwise, there can be a twist in the hose assembly, which is very detrimental for the life of the hose assembly.
Okay, thank you. And for this training program, that for 3 weeks that was discussed right now, so is it on a chargeable basis?
Yeah.
And the charges will be shared online in the LinkedIn.
Yes, that Nitesh will he looks after the commercials. He can share it with you. You send your mail ID or
ID is with me. Your mobile number is also there, so I will send you the details about that training program also.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay. So, thank you everyone. And our next this knowledge sharing program will be on 23rd of September, and it will be on the filtration technology. So I will share you the details about that program also. So
Sure, sir.
Everyone for joining the program. Thank you. Thank you, Amrit sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you.
And I will send you the invitation.
Yeah, you send me the invitation, and I am looking forward for some nominations from
And
your.
you also send me the invitation. I will come soon.
I
Yeah,
require
yeah.
this
Whenever you feel.
invitation from your company.
No, I will come soon, very soon, because I'm going to the Bangalore, some medical treatment. So
You
that
come
time I will basically come.
to Pune.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. So
Okay.
thank you everyone.
Okay, bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
sir.
Ishi,
Bye.
Vita, Shahadul, Mukesh ji, अपने मनीष जी.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.